Cities of the future.
Home Sweet Dome.
Home Sweet Dome. Yeah.
This is one type of dome.
Oh, look at this. Yeah.
Back to the straight and then dome.
Is this ferrous cement, or what is this? It is.
This is Roxanne did all the cement work on all these buildings.
Wow. Oh, look at the light.
An inch and a half.
Yeah.
Foam, and an inch and a half. not the
Are
standard.
you off the grid,
Now, some people,
No.
excuse me,
or did you plan to?
No, we just had priorities for our money at the time.
have a seat.
Look at this.
It's
Wow.
working on it.
No, didn't know it was on.
On the web.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
The Discovery Channel left out all the socials. They just showed the buildings. And they said, oh, these buildings are fantastic. Nothing is self-activated. Let me describe it to you. A sailboat can't move unless the wind moves it. All things on earth that we know of is moved by resident forces. Meaning, my son once said to me, Daddy, what makes an airplane fly? Is it the propeller? I said, no, the propeller. When I say nothing is self-activated, an automobile depends on fuel. But fuel alone without oxygen, the automobile won't operate. Electric battery has to be charged. The sun evaporates the water and it gets up high, condenses into large drops and falls. Everything is interconnected. The earth, people, everything. When I was 15, I was given a letter to Albert Einstein. And I met him at Princeton and I said, do you believe in truth? He said, what are you talking about? Well, I said, don't you believe there's harmony in nature? He said, what do you mean by that? I said, well, that nature has a purpose and unified, fits together somehow in some lawful way. So he took some water from his backyard, we had a little pond there, and he said, look at it under a microscope. I looked at it, and he says, notice every little thing is fighting every other little thing? Every organ in the human body is in constant battle with bacteria, infectious disease, your sinuses, your eyes, everything. He said to me, Chuck, did you know if a bird laid 4 white eggs and you put 3 black ones in and took out 3 of the white, it'll push its own eggs out of the nest? I said, no, I didn't know that. Why isn't it in my school books? It would be controversial. There's a lot of things about nature that isn't so nice. The little birds that open their mouths and move a lot, that's where mother puts the worm. The other bird that doesn't move as much doesn't get the worm. And the other birds poke at the other baby birds. Nature's so harmonious and wonderful. You must be living on cloud 9. Nature's neither good nor bad. It is the way it is. When a hurricane comes, it doesn't skip over a church and blow an atheist into the sea. It blows anybody that gets in the way. Nature has no purpose. They say the purpose of the eyebrows is when you sweat, the sweat gets caught in the eyebrow and is taken off to the side. Oh, how nice. What's the purpose of coughing and sneezing? To infect other people. See what I mean? If you're looking for purpose, go all the way. There's no purpose to anything. Purpose of an earthquake? There's no purpose. Just the floating layers of the earth are floating on lava. And some areas are perforated by the lava and extruded upward. And they don't care how many people live in that city, like Pompeii. It just burns them all. Well, the religious guys said they probably did some sinful things years ago. Well, they've always got a nice little package. That God was angry. Now, look, if God made all life, every living cell, every plant, you don't have to say, dear God, Aunt Minnie has a tumor and she's suffering. Can you ease that? Yeah, thanks for telling me that. You know, we make our gods as stupid as we are. Guys that get angry, that get pissed off, and they have lightning and thunder and war and disease. This isn't God, this is a man-made idiot. Now, I'm saying if you believe in God, that nature somehow can work together, that's fine. But we have to do a lot of studying and a lot of checking and a lot of care. So I think that prayer is an insult to God. Let me put it your way. Before Jesus, when Jesus was crucified, put on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, God didn't know that. If you create millions of universes, you don't say to God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. It's like telling Einstein, 10 and 10 is 20. Einstein says, gee, thanks. You know, this is the kind of gods we create. we talk to him, we beg. He says, please, Sunday I'm taking the kids out on a picnic. I don't want it. I'd rather that it didn't rain. He says, I'm growing stuff and it hasn't rained for time. I need water if these plants are going to grow. You know, it's ridiculous. So what we do and the way we think has been given to us as kids, because in the very early days, when a guy or a girl thought of something new, they said, you know what I was thinking about? He says, I had a revelation, because they believe all things came from out there, from the wise one, you know, and entered your head. Then you're not free then. You're controlled by the wise one. If you're born an artist, why give him a medal? If the kid here is born as a brilliant mathematician, what are you giving him a prize for? This guy has to read the book 15 times to remember it. He doesn't have the same brain chemistry the kid has. So why give him an A and another person a D? Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You understand the physical equipment of a human being, just like an engineer. He looks at a car and he says, you can go up in the grade, but you can't go up a grade of 60 degrees for the car. He knows that from experience. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the world you live in will not be remembered in the history books. What the Venus Project advocates is living in accordance with the carrying capacity of the Earth. If you exceed that, there'll be starvation and hunger. I don't care how many nice guys you have in government, okay? So, the dome. Why a dome? Because, well, what if I don't want to live in a dome? People say that all the time. Your brain is in the dome. It's been in the dome for years. Nature designed it that way. When a hurricane comes, it lifts the roof off all the buildings. You got all the walls standing. A dome doesn't have a roof to come off. It's all one piece. Why a dome? Well, there's no attic for rats. And the environmentalists don't want to cut down the forest. They're nice guys. But if you go to Home Depot and everybody's buying wood, they're going to cut down the forest. You understand that?
Yep.
This is made of concrete. The Sahara Desert is all sand. We can make houses and hospitals out of concrete. A good wooden house, if you take care of it, could last 80 years, 75 years. There are domes in the Holy Land, 2,000 years old, still standing. So, why you don't cut down the forest? Come up with an alternative. This doesn't say don't cut down the forest. What's your alternative? So a dome is strong, it's earthquake resistant because its webbing is out of steel. So even if it cracked, it won't cave in. And so you don't have to, there's no wood rot, you don't have to redo the roof or anything, if you do it correctly the first time. Okay? Say, hey, we're going to increase your pay because a new machine came in and you're going to get longer vacation. They downsize you. Ouch. You understand? The system I'm talking about, when the new machines come in, you get longer vacations, more access to goods and services. Where did I get all these ideas? From the human body. When you get an infection in your toe, there's no committee meeting. That sends a committee to the brain that says there's an infection in the toe.
Dome, sweet dome. I love it.
TheVenusProject.com